Welcome to our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Revelation. Today we're going to begin looking at Revelation chapter 15. Our last time together we talked about the vision of the harvest, that the day of harvest will come, when God will harvest the world, those who are His to redemptive glory and those who refuse to worship Him to judgment. Now, as we move into chapter 15, we are reaching the climactic point of judgment. And in the book of Revelation, that details the pouring out of the 7 bowls of wrath. Remember, we've seen 3 series of 7s in the book. The 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, and now this climactic moment of the 7 bowls. It covers 2 chapters, chapters 15 and 16. Let's begin to look at it. We're in chapter 15. John says, I saw in heaven a great and marvelous sign. 7 angels with the 7 last plagues. You notice that emphasis on the last, because this is the climactic moment. The 7 last plagues. Last, because with them God's wrath is completed. And I saw what looked like a sea of glass that glowed with fire. Standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and the image, and over the number of the beast's name. They held harps given to them by God, and they sang the song of God's servant Moses and of the Lamb. Okay, notice now, he sees this great sign, the last plagues, the completion of judgment, and he sees a sea of glass that glows with fire. And beside the sea are those who have triumphed over the beast in the number of his name. These are those who stand firm against him and worship only the Lamb. They are victorious. Now notice they have harps and they are singing the song of Moses and of the Lamb. Now, of course, we know the song of the Lamb, the song of redemption, but Moses. Why is Moses mentioned? I think because it's meant to hearken us back to the Exodus, God's great deliverance of Israel from slavery in Egypt. Moses was the agent of that deliverance, of that redemption. And notice also they're standing by a sea of glass. I think perhaps that is meant to remind us of the Red Sea. You remember when Moses led Israel out of Egypt, delivered, the Pharaoh's army pursued them, trying to catch them on the shore of the Red Sea. God opened the way of the sea and they were delivered through it. And the final judgment came upon Pharaoh's army when the sea engulfed them. I think we're meant to see here another deliverance of like kind. God's people have gone through the sea. The beast, the Pharaoh of this age, pursued them and tried to destroy them, but God led them through the sea and judgment fell upon the beast. And so they stand triumphant, singing the song of redemption, the song of Moses and of the Lamb. And then John goes on, and this again affirms that we're talking about a connection with the Exodus. John says, I looked and I saw in heaven the temple, that is the tabernacle of the covenant law, and it was open. He saw the tabernacle. Now it was Moses who constructed the tabernacle by God's instruction in the wilderness. After the people were delivered and went to Mount Sinai, God instructed Moses on building that place of worship, the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. John sees that. He sees Moses, that is the singing the song of Moses, and he sees the tabernacle, that place of worship. Again, this is a deliverance like that of Egypt. Like the first Exodus, God has delivered his people out of tribulation from the hand of the beast, and they worship him forever. And now we're ready for that climactic moment of judgment. Out of the temple come the 7 angels with the 7 plagues. Notice it says plagues. Again, another connection with the Exodus, the plagues that befell Egypt that delivered Israel. The 7 angels have the 7 plagues. They're dressed in clean, shining linen, golden sashes around their chest. One of the living creatures gives to the 7 angels 7 golden bowls filled with the wrath of God, who lives forever and forever. The temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God, from his power. And no one could enter the temple until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were completed. So these 7 angels have the bowls of God's wrath, the completion of God's wrath. They've come out of the tabernacle, and they're now ready to execute God's final judgment upon the world. Again, remember, when judgment falls, it's twofold. God judges those who worship the beast, but he redeems those who follow the Lamb. And so we see the redeemed standing there singing the song of Moses and the Lamb as God's judgment on the kingdom of the beast, the Antichrist, is about to be poured out. It is good to be the people of the Lamb, to know that we are safe in his hands and that we are redeemed by his grace. Now, next time we'll start looking at the specifics of the 7 bowls of wrath that will be poured out in chapter 16, but we'll save that for next time. Have a great day today. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you know the presence of the Lamb with you every step of the way on this day. I'll see you next time.